go. Hello everyone, it's Tuesday. We are just getting set up, giving everybody a minute to join us on our Instagram Live. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're working on today, Joseph, while people join us?
Yep, so I'm going to be attempting to lay out my joinery for the bottom legs and the rocker. Yep, so we'll be figuring out together because I hadn't. So we're going to be making this joint here. It'll be the same type of joint, but it'll be proportionally a little bit bigger. So just laying that out. So it becomes a unit.
So yeah, and today we're trying to record on 2 cameras here so we can add these to YouTube. So that way you can go back and reference them later. And we do add them to our Instagram stories, but they're only available for 24 hours after that. But hopefully getting them on YouTube, you'll be able to reference them a lot longer than just one day.
Wait. Right now I'm fixing a mistake.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So I actually made, need to grab those. I had one of my legs, the first one I made. Let me back. The first one I made was this one, which is slightly smaller at the bottom than this one, and then you can really tell when you lay them up next to each other the difference. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, right there at that angle.
Yeah, so
much higher.
In the other dimension, actually there, it's smaller in both
Can you
sides.
hold down just a little bit lower?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
perfect.
you can see is that good? How the little step there?
There's a big shadow if y'all can see that.
It's almost an eighth of an inch at the bottom, smaller.
Wow.
So what I could have either taken the other ones down to that dimension, or which would have been, it would have worked, but I've noticed on some of the other chairs that I've done when I've had this angle, that when it is sitting on the ground and you're looking at it from above, especially when you try to photograph it, it almost looks like this is a straight, non-tapered piece.
Mm-hmm.
So the less tapered it was, the more straight it was going to look. And also, this is the one. When this joins, see how there's
a little
step there too. And since this leg is tapered, the side of this rocker is going to need to be tapered as well. So there were some things I kind of saw that were going to give me some trouble. So I decided to make another leg. So last night after I got the kids down, I ran down here and cut out another leg and was going pretty fast and put it on the multi-router and started cutting the joinery, and my clamp wasn't clamped very good and it just chewed off the front of the top of this joint. And not even I'm talking about only about a quarter of an inch down, and anyway, it wasn't much. You can actually, if you can see the dark spots on top, only about a quarter inch from the edge.
Okay, yeah.
And it just kind of tapered into nothing, only about a quarter inch down. So I went ahead, that happened before I even cut any of the joinery. I was starting to cut it and I stopped and decided I'd go ahead and cut it and see if I could salvage it. And so that's what I was cleaning up just now, trying to see if I can make this work, because it was actually going to be a really nice looking leg. So didn't want to lose it completely. So that's what I was working on. So now I'm going to remove this one so I don't get mixed up. And I'm going to take a look at my two rockers and decide which one I want to be the right and which one I want to be the left. And there's not a whole lot of difference to them. I just need to choose and make it so they are. I'm gonna grab a piece of tape so I don't mix them up, and then we'll lay out some. Try to determine the joinery. Trusty tape for marking, for designating which leg's which, or rockers which, and leg. This one will be the left. And there was really no reason why. It was just, or which one, why I chose one to be the left and the right. Just a choice. They're actually grain running that way a little bit on this one and grain running that way, and it could be, I could switch it, but this one just aesthetically pleasing to me a little bit more, so that's why I chose that.
Todd blew you a kiss.
Todd.
Hope you're feeling better, Todd. So yeah, say hey, ask questions, tell us where you're from, what you're working on today. I want to hear from y'all too.
All right, right and left. Left. Front right.
Hey, Carla. Glad you could make it again today.
Back left and back right. Okay. As per usual, a very organized bench. So they're obviously just nested together right now, so I can keep them straight.
Since we've got a lot of new people joining us, you want to give a quick little summary of what you're doing?
Yep. So keep my scale model here to kind of keep that a visual of what's going on when everything's just in parts. So right now, you see, I'm going to be laying out the joinery between the bottom of this leg and the rocker. Well, we'll see which I get marked out. This is the one I'm going to start on, this front. The joinery for the top is already made. And it will be the same. It's going to be a twin bridle joint. The same as these. It will just be bigger. I think these are 1/4 of an inch, and that's what I'm about to do now, is figure out how big these bottom ones are going to be. So that's what we're going to do. So let's see.
Our dear friend Dick Toast Toast says hello.
Hey! Staying safe out there, I hope. Okay. So, like that. Set this one aside and keep them straight. So, this is the join that I'm gonna lay out. So anyway, I know I have an 1 3/4 material to deal with. So I'm going to step it off with a divider.
Should I come in closer?
Perhaps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab my stool too.
Have a seat.
See if I actually sit in it. I don't know. We'll see.
Todd asked double bridle for the bottom as well.
That's correct. So actually, in the scale model, it was a single bridle joint, and then I kind of just decided that. After that, I thought the look and the strength of the double bridle joint would fit better, and the little bedside step that I made for you.
Mm-hmm.
That was made after this, and that's when I did the double bridle joint.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that's how I wanted to kind of try it out on that. Maybe one day I'll show a picture of it. It really turned out well. I'm gonna grab
You can bring it down. We still have it, don't we?
Yeah. Do you want me to get it now? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no, you don't have to
Okay.
right now.
All right. So, I'm gonna grab this little clamp. All
If y'all
right.
can please bear with me. I'm trying to work the.
I won't tell her where I'm end up, so she's having to
Yeah.
work with me here.
No.
You know. So, I'm just gonna see how good I can hold this. Again, for the top of these legs, I divided into 5 equal parts, which that was the plan. It didn't quite end up like that, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. And I don't even know what that is. I think for is that your phone over there?
Yes. Oh, you need your fraction.
I was going to, but
Fractionator.
it's all right. I can do it. It was just a little bit quicker like that, but
Math.
quick, whatever. Whatever.
Closer. So what's good? Where's everybody from? How is it where you're at today? It's cooling off again a little bit down here, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was almost 90 degrees this weekend, wasn't it?
Excessive.
Yeah, it was a little bit much.
It's March, man. It's still March somehow.
Yeah.
So.
Like Todd said, March 97th.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
A little bit more.
Carla's in Tennessee and she says it's cold. Todd said it's still January. Feels like it. I think we're still back in like 2016. Didn't David Bowie just die or something? I mean, the past couple of years have been such a blur. Hey, Andrew. He says he's working on shop improvements in Fort Lauderdale, 88 degrees. Woo! That's what I think it was here Sunday. 88. It got up there.
Okay.
Hello, Santiago.
One, two, three, 4, 5. All right, so I'm gonna press a little bit harder. Okay, so that ended up being slightly over 5/16, which that is totally fine with me. Works out. I don't see any problems with that. I got a 5/16 bit. As long as it's not like slightly under the 5/16, and that's what happened last time. Is it ended up slightly less than the bit I'm using, which if it was slightly more, then I've got some, could adjust the cut or use a hand tool to clean it up. So this will work. So I also need, basically it's going to be, if you can imagine that, well, it's going to go this way, but I'm trying to figure out how far back this will actually sit. Actually, I need my square side.
Hey, Miss Nora.
Hey, Miss Nora. Mom.
Carla said I had a halter on one day and a turtleneck sweater the next. My unit said it has had it with the heat to air. Yeah, I can't get comfortable either. So I've just been wearing like a tank top and then like a sweatshirt or something over it, so I can go from hot to cold real quick. And I just don't feel like my body is regulating its temperature like it should. It's my nervous system, but we adapt.
Okay, so I know the back of this piece is straight, so I can trust it. If I make this mark, that's going to be the end of it. Sometimes with the taper it can kind of throw you off, but
And I apologize for my cinematography skills today. Thanks to Carla's suggestion yesterday, I am trying to operate 2 cameras, and that way we can have one recorded to YouTube so you guys can reference it later. So bear with me as I get used to this. Fortunately, tomorrow will be our Q&A, so we'll be sitting still mostly, so that'll be that'll be an easy one. But yeah, tomorrow at 2 we'll do a Q&A on business and marketing and design and basically anything you guys want to ask us. We're just going to sit down and chat, and I had a great time last Wednesday doing it, so decided to make it a weekly thing. And then tomorrow night at 9 p.m. you can join me on my Women of Woodworking channel. That's at Women of Woodworking on Instagram. And basically I'm going to go live and see who wants to drop in and talk about their work and show us their shop and just connect a lot of the awesome women makers we have out there around the world. That's been a fun project, and I'm excited to do this. So, welcome from Palestine, Arabia. Hello. What are you doing? He is marking out double bridle joints on the rocker legs for his rocking stool.
mm-hmm.
Rating Code says, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we love hearing where everybody's from. We have friends all over the world, so the more the merrier.
All right.
Kind of faintly see the pencil lines
Oh, yeah.
there. There you go. You can see them in, yeah, there you go. Joseph Ryan Designs. If you were an omelet, what would you have inside of you? That's a great question. I want to say ham and cheese just because that's my favorite, but I'm sure I'd have an onion or something in there too. What about you, Joe?
Pizza roll?
A pizza roll. Pizza roll omelet. Accurate.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're an omelet.
Oh, I know. I heard the question. No, I don't know. Omelet.
An omelet. It would just be an egg. It would just be eggs, scrambled eggs, because that's how you roll.
Yeah, you know, something neat.
Plain scrambled eggs,
Right.
salt and pepper, maybe if you felt like it.
Maybe if I was feeling crazy. I don't know. This lead. I've got some white lead, but it's typically it's kind of soft, so we'll see if it breaks the first time I try to use it.
Yeah.
It's kind of acting like a crayon, so we'll see.
Cool.
Shoot it up. Joseph Ryan, I think. Don't you have some German short hair pointers?
Ooh, we don't talk about dogs now. That sounded really southern. You said yes.
I knew it. I used to have one too.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Keep those questions coming. We've got a few minutes left. Having a good time. All right.
Yeah.
Breaking.
Yeah, that works. Actually,
Oh,
less.
fabulous.
Thanks for that, there, Mr. Lead. Okay.
Ooh. Serbia. Very cool. Very cool. Sorry, I have dad jokes. Have a problem. Tell us more about this pizza roll omelet. We can't. It's currently being patented,
Yeah.
so we can't reveal any secrets. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's just say Pepto-Bismol stock is probably a wise choice. The world's not ready. Thanks, Andrew. Have a good day. Should we back up here a little bit?
See it?
Yeah.
So, since should be able to lay the same out on this, starting from my square side.
Hey, wood carving 78. So yeah, if you're just joining us, Joe is setting up double bridle joints on the rockers for his rocking stool today. So not incredibly exciting, but if you like joinery,
Yeah.
it is.
You are seeing me figure it out while I'm doing it, so not every Not all woodworking is putting finish on and all that good stuff.
Epoxy pours.
I was gonna say it, but I figured
I'll go there.
I
will go there.
I figured I would just.
I mean, I like it as much as anyone else. Don't get me wrong. People make some beautiful work with it, but sometimes you got to get in the nitty gritty.
That's right.
It's not always about what's shiny at the end of the project. It's all about the process. I know that sounds kind of stuck up. It's not meant to be, but at the end of the day, I know 100% we can stand behind our work because of that. And that's more important to us. Nice if it paid bills. But integrity it's important.
So that's a good example of why dividers are really a good way to go instead of trying to rely on math. Most of the time when I'm laying out joinery, I'm transferring from one to the next, just laying it out. And I probably will cut this bottom of this rocker and then from that transfer over to this piece just to, because that's how I do joinery. I cut one and then transfer for the other. But as far as laying it out and getting an idea, the dividers really were an accurate way to see everything would line up. I hope it looks accurate in the picture because I don't know. Looks like it's lining up to me. There you go. Yeah. Maybe not where I had it held, but there you go.
Oh, thanks, Carla. She said, not stuck up. Truth, craftsmanship. That's right.
So on this one, this would be a good time where these X's would be valuable because I will be, let's see, yeah. No? Which one do I want to cut out? No, I want to leave. Shit. This is why I do it. I actually want the opposite. I would prefer from the side to have this running continuously, and I have that to be cut away. I'd rather that stay. Yeah, I want this to be continuous instead of having, I don't know, we'll see. I think that would make sense. Yes, that's how I want to do it. So I want to keep, actually want to keep these middle two. I'm going to cut that away, cut that away, cut that away. And cut those away on the rocker. Why is there 3 X's on there? Oh, I didn't quite erase that one good enough.
Well, it's 2:30. We usually wrap up about this time. If y'all have any questions, let's see. Oh, sorry, somebody called. If you have any questions, now's a great time to ask. And while we're doing that, I'll just share again that you can join Mary May. She is doing wood carving live streams over on Twitch Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we are here Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern on IG Live. And then you can also join me tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on Women of Woodworking, at Women of Woodworking on Instagram for our first Women of Woodworking Wednesday IG Live. Yeah, and again, I'll try to get a recording of this up on YouTube by the end of the day, so you guys can go back and reference it later and kind of always have something to go back if you have a question or something. Take a look or shoot us a message. well, got a few more things you want to show them, or? Anything else you want to add on to what we talked about today?
Not really. Not. I think probably so. Once I start cutting this joinery out, and right now you kind of just caught the figuring out process. So maybe between here and there, I'll figure out something that didn't go or I didn't like, or possibly would change, or. But I feel like I'm feeling pretty good about the way this is gonna work. So yeah, there'll be more to figure out, but I think it's gonna go well. And next thing I'm gonna have to figure out is how to clamp all this. So that'll be interesting. It's funny, like once you were saying that, that's what was running through my mind. I was like, I'm gonna clamp this. So another jig. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys and gals, y'all take it easy out there. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see y'all tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern here on IG Live. Bye. Oh, Carla, real quick question. Has he ever made anything from actual tree branch? Branches are...
So you can...
you can definitely make stuff with them.
Yeah. So branches... a log or a branch in the round form on most species. I mean, there's some that'll hold together. They want to split when they dry. So for the kind of stuff I'm doing, that wouldn't quite work. But there's plenty of uses for it. And there's some ways to try to dry it a little slower, where and some species will dry better and slower and not crack apart. There's some, if you took a branch off some of them out there, they would just split. And it's small, so they're not very stable like out of a larger piece of wood. So those are some of the reasons why I would shy away from it. So.
All right. Hope that answers your question. And all right, for real this time. We will see y'all tomorrow.